Yo YouTube, Mr. Wangos here today, and I think we all know what this video is going to be about, if not why, but Great Britain time, and it basically showed the new Xbox. They didn't call it 720, sorry. So first to get basically straight into it, if you haven't got a link in the description to it, it's on it. It's definitely worth a watch because it shows some great cool things and it looks really good. Basically they've put everything into one and made it like so. Before I start, I will just cover a couple of the points about the video. Any of your views, please feel free about the Xbox One because it looks at the actual Xbox itself. There we go. There's a picture. As you can see, the Xbox itself looks extremely attractive. I mean, it's shiny, silver. It looks very nice. So when I was watching my friend, because we were talking at the same time, he immediately thought of the old NES consoles because it's that kind of block sort of look. I'm not sure how exactly they look, but it did look. He said it looks quite like that, but I think it looks very more modern, very sleek and stylish, and I can't really fault with it. I mean, I like the whole. It's obviously got a good cooling system to it with the whole top fans as well. So yeah, I think it's a very sleek design overall. I think compared to the 360 though, I don't know it because it looks like they changed the design so much. Because the 360 was on about all the big emphasis on the power button for some reason on the 360, but it always was, and the lights and the general sleek design of the Slim was amazing when it came out, and that did excite me when that was released. But this has been it does look better, but it looks kind of more of a. I don't know. It's a funny thing. If you guys think it's a good design, feel free to comment. I think it is a general good move from Microsoft. It looks more professional. I've always thought the Xbox looks very good, but it looks slightly kiddie-ish now, and I think it needed a big uphaul. So it's always been good. Next, as you can see, is the Connect bit. Sorry, I lost my words then. As you can also see with this, I've never had the original Connect, but I thought it always looked very sleek, and it always looked smaller when I watched the videos than when I used it, because many of my friends had it. It was a lot bigger, but that was always very sleek. I think the new design was definitely needed with the Xbox One, because now they look very similar, and it also helps with the whole design to get putting it together sort of thing. It looks very well done, and there's also been a lot of effort put into that. After when they made Xbox One, they thought, "Oh, put the faceplate on the front of it, and that's it, and to the display bit." Oh, that's basically what it is, but it will suit it very well. And the third one is the controller, which I think looks really generally looks really good. I like the design. It's generally it's not had that much difference, because obviously the big thing people have been saying is like, "Oh, they're making a new Xbox, but there's no new controller." Which, I mean, we don't need a new controller. We've had the same one for years now, and the same sort of design since the original Xbox came out. So I don't see why we can't keep it the same. PS4 have kept the same controller. They just put a new silly touchscreen in the middle of it, which basically looks just faffy in my eyes, and I don't really see the point in it. But anyway, I find the controller looks really attractive. I generally really like how they've moved the Xbox button up, and they've also changed the start and the back button slightly. The back button looks different. I think that might bring out something else now with the new Xbox One. It might bring the dual screen thing from the icon, it looks like. I think it's on the back of it, the battery looks bigger. Maybe improved range, battery life. Because it might just be the battery in there, but obviously we don't know. We don't know until more comes out. But this is what my first thoughts are. Now I'm going to go through 5 questions that I've looked on the internet and people have been asking. I think some of them most really, and probably put another question or two in there myself, and just cover them and see what I've thought about it, what I think will happen, and also if you guys think anything different, please feel free to comment, and we'll take it from there. So the first question is, how much will a new console cost, and how many versions will there be of it? Well, I think this has always been a subject of any consoles really these days, because it seems to be the more in thing to do now, to do a price range for the different sort of people that want to pay that amount of money for it. The Xbox has always been, well, Microsoft I should say, have always been quite good at doing this. They've always had different ones, obviously, to the different rates you want to pay. Obviously, like the arcade, everyone knows the arcade, the premium and the elite. The more you paid, the bigger hard drives you got, the controllers you got, stuff like that, and also you pay a bit more, you get games with it. For me, I don't think that this really will have separate consoles itself in a way. I think we'll have different box sets, as in with the Kinect maybe 2 controllers and a couple of games, or codes to download, and maybe a time for online subscription. Or maybe it'll have just like a starter pack with a console, a controller, and probably 1 game and everything you need to run it with. And maybe that will be like the cheaper one, and it'll go up and up and up. As I've been looking online, there is on a website, I can't remember what it's called, there is the price for it, pre-order price, which is £400, £399.99. I'm not sure if that is what the proper price will be for it. It's just what one website has put out already for pre-order, which I don't think people should go for that pre-order yet, because I think it's a bit early days and it might be cheaper on other websites, and if you pre-order that, you've wasted a lot of money and it just won't be worth it. But we yet to see what the prices are. Yeah, I think there will be just 2 basic models, one with Connect, one without Connect. I hope to God they put HDMI cable with every single console they make, because when they don't do that and give you an AV cable, it's horrible and pathetic, and no one uses AV. So that's really what I think of the first question. But we'll just wait and see anyway. Hopefully they'll do 2 versions, just with one thing, one without it, with Connect, without the Connect, and maybe some with some games in. The second question is, when will it be released? Obviously, they didn't specify an exact date when it was going to be released. The only thing they said is later out this year. So that does rule out the fact that what rumours were said before about next summer or next spring. I think that would have been a stupid mistake to do it anyway. We will obviously learn more. We'll probably be told at E3, which starts in 20 days in June. So we'll probably learn everything about it and see all the details for it then. But I think it will probably come around December, between September and December, because that's generally the time when most consoles have come out. It kind of hits the best time before Christmas for people to give presents out. And more sales are done generally before Christmas because people are giving, obviously, and stuff like that. So I think that'll be generally the main time. I can't really cover this answer in that much because it doesn't seem that really it's much of a big subject, but it obviously is. But there's not only so much you can say about it. But what I'm reading here is it's just one thing. It said it should really, the dates are mainly announced shortly after it's the preview date. Sometimes the same day. I'll look on the internet, see what I can find, and maybe put an update on this. And really, you cannot get away with to wait for holidays of the year after when you release something in this year for either the next Xbox or the next PlayStation, because that's just silly, and it'll just lose a lot of sales. A lot of people may switch to PlayStation because of it, to wait for that time. So that's what I think anyway. We never know yet. We'll wait till E3. That's what I'm waiting for, to see when the date will be. The next question is, will it move to streaming games, or do you think it'll stay with discs? I think this is a really good question, because it just depends on the future of how we will play our games, how we'll get them, and what will happen to the retail stores like Game, the online ones like Play, and just generally stuff like that, and all the second-hand games. Because if they decide to stream, they have become redundant and they won't need it anymore. So it is kind of a big, important question, is this one. And what I really think is, I think the streaming isn't really going to be that big a part yet, because obviously it's still a new idea. I generally, the concept of streaming to me scares me, because I think that if you don't have good internet or a fast download rate, you generally suffer from that with the game quality, and lag becomes a massive issue, and it can cause a lot of problems and a lot of people to be pushed away from products if they can't play them to the full potential that they should be, really. I think that the whole store online will be a reality very generally soon, like Steam. Steam is massive. If you haven't played Steam, then I don't know what you're doing, where you've been for the past 4 or 5 years. Steam is basically a massive online gaming content store. You can buy anything you want, you pay for it off your card or get points from in stores, down to your computer, and you play them, no problem. And they also do it where if a game's coming out, you can download it and pay for it beforehand. You cannot play that game, and it will never get unlocked until the date it comes out. On the first minute that date comes out, then you can play it. Which, that's a bonus, because people want to wait up for games, and if you're big into gaming, then you obviously that's a good thing for you. So I'd say the streaming isn't a big thing, but I'd say that the store online content will be, like, Xbox already does a bit of that, but it doesn't do it to the extent that Steam does with every game is, and I think that'll be a big possibility in the future, because it was mentioned in in the conference that they've put in they have 30,000 servers at the moment, I think, and they're going to put a humongous amount of effort into 300,000 servers into live, just to, for people, for everyone. So I reckon it will become a massive thing of the future. But also, what they are doing is a lot of cloud-based things, which I might cover a bit later. I'll cover in another question, and it'll store a lot of your stuff online instead of on your Xbox itself, which is as cons and pros as well. Cons, if you have no internet, you're in trouble. You can't use it. Pros, it's stored on there. It's safe. If your Xbox breaks, you don't lose your data. It's also safe, and we're yet to know as well, though, how much data you can actually put on the cloud. I'm sure it'll be enough to supply for us. They do a bit of cloud storage already, but 512, I think it is, megabytes of storage is not enough for any sort of game, even if it's just game saves, because the amount of game saves you can rack up is unbelievable. I mean, I have must be over a gig of game saves just with Halo, like making maps and COD and stuff like that. And just over the years, you gather up so much, so they'll have to put a lot of effort into those to make the cloud service better. With the Play retail discs, I think that sort of way has started to decline massively, because I mean, I like the concept of buying a game, put it in, and it's there, but it has become a bit old now, and I don't think it'll last. But then again, they have said there's a Blu-ray player in the Xbox now, which I think is one of the best decisions they've ever made. So they can make massive games, and I think that because they put the Blu-ray player in, they probably will still focus on discs for quite a bit. I'm not sure myself, because I'm not a computer whiz, how if you can play Blu-ray DVDs through the disc and then download them and play them through the actual system like that, if it works. I'm not fully sure myself, but I think with the Blu-ray player and the disc, I think not straight away. I think that the online downloading will come available quite a lot, but I think you will still have the choice to get the discs yourself if you wish for a couple of years, until they probably disband that completely and start focusing on online material. So that's basically what I think of that question. So put your comments in below what you think about that one. The next question is, will the online subscription stay the same? I think basically, this is, I think, quite a quick question. I think it will stay the same. The prices may vary within it. It might change up because of all the new stuff they're putting in. I don't think they'll do that, because I think that'd be another mistake that they would do. But I think they'll also, obviously, they keep doing the thing with Love Film and Netflix is an extra bit. But I'd like to see them include a bit more in the gold thing. I mean, already you get tons for gold, but I don't know if it's different in America to what we get in Britain. I'm not sure about that, but I know that we get basically playing games, party chat, all that kind of downloadables, watch movies, stuff like that. But it'd be nice to see some things like sort of Xbox version of like. Actually, no, but probably Sky, because a lot of people have Sky and they can link up to their Xbox and they play it. But it'd be nice to have your own like limited Sky thing with Xbox, but you can only watch it for a certain amount of hours a day, maybe. Just some stuff like that and extra things might help it quite a lot. Like that. You get like slight rewards. I mean, I know there's already the rewards scheme where if you buy something, I don't know, gold to your account, do the surveys, you get Microsoft points, but other things like that, maybe add more to it to just give us little stuff back for paying them all this money for the games we buy and stuff like that. I think that would be a good idea. But as far as the subscription things is done, I think you'll still be able to pay offline, still be able to get the codes. So as far as I'm concerned about that, I think it will generally just stay the same, really. And final question for the day is, I'm going to do one more because this video's getting quite long, is are all these new features too much? And what I mean by that is, when I started playing Xbox, I played it solely for the online aspect of shooting each other in the face, talking to your friends, having a good time. And I think it's a good move that Microsoft and Xbox have made it to more of a family-oriented thing with family accounts and Connect and all these games marketed at younger and older people who aren't specifically taken gamers, but they enjoy that sort of thing. But when I was watching the video today, I liked all the talking and the swiping and all the fancy gizmos you can do, but sometimes, I don't know, I got it with Connect and never got it, is sometimes do we need all of this? Can't we? I just like sometimes to sit down, put a game in, and just play, and that's it. I don't need all these features of like how your friends are coming on. They want you to play with them automatically, and just things like that. Like I don't know. Sometimes it's good, and well, most of the time it's good, and it's generally because people watching this probably brought up with it. I've always used it. You can just take that thing on straight away. But how about people who are just coming into this and the technology is just changing so fast? It's crazy, and I don't know if the Xbox or Microsoft are doing too much to the console to make it too complicated for people that maybe aren't going to use it. I mean, I won't really use the Kinect talking. I'll probably use the talking feature quite a lot, but the swapping feature I won't do because I just don't see the point. I could do it twice as quick with a controller. The speaking thing, obviously, that is just I do enjoy that. I think that's quite good. You can tell it what to do and it will do it. That's always been good. You can do it with your phones as well. I do it on my phone quite a bit, but with the whole gestures and stuff. I mean, I like the gesture. When you watch the video, they pull up to drag a video in, and then they push down, like close the hands together to shrink it, and then you can make a gesture and bring a new window in and watch the movie while you're talking to a friend on Skype, maybe watching the same movie. I like that concept, and I see that the hand gestures do make that quicker. But I sometimes think it's too much. We just want to play a game, and I think that the entertainment system is getting in the way of the high-powered awesome games we like to play. I know they showed the new Call of Duty engine and the new Call of Duty game and a couple of other games, but they generally focus on the entertainment aspect, and I know that's what E3's for, is to show a load of new games and how good it'll be. Like, obviously the new Halo will probably be previewed there, more COD will be previewed there, maybe new Gears of War. I think it's a bit too early really to make one of those, but you never know. Anything could be, maybe another Fallout, something like that. Hopefully Rainbow Six Patriots will be shown properly there. I've seen bits on YouTube and everything like that, but hopefully that'll be a proper thing there, because I'm waiting for that really. But as I said, that's what I play games for, and I don't know if any of you will agree with me. If you don't, just say I'm talking bullshit in the comments, and that's fine. I'll accept that, but I just sometimes think that it's too much for a console. That what I thought was first designed was for design for gamers, for people to go online, have fun, and just shoot people or play with your friends, having a laugh. And sometimes I find that putting all of it into controls your entire TV, which is good, I sometimes find it's a bit too much and it's not what we've needed. But anyway, these are my 5 questions I'm going to cover. I'm going to keep checking up on the internet and watching the stuff. When E3 comes out, there'll be a ton of videos coming up just saying how it is, what's happened, and just all the new news, because it's just something that people like to see, people's verdicts and stuff. So if you have any problems with this video, just comment instead of chatting crap, put your views down. Just say whatever, because I'm not fussed. I like creative feedback. It's quite fun. So this is Mr. Wango signing off, guys. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you later. Peace out.